This is KGW News at Sunrise.
This morning, around 1,200 Portland City workers are set to strike. Which bureaus are involved and when they plan to walk off the job? Plus.
Okay, I have done this, but it was into a sweater in my closet, never in a public park. These are moms who banded together to vent their pandemic and childcare frustrations into the sky of a Portland park. Why, they say, it helps.
Oh, come on, we know why it helps. At least I do.
Maybe I should try that outside, because every time I do that in the house, my wife tells me to leave.
Like, what's wrong with you?
Hey, welcome to what we call our favorite show on the Sunrise Show. It's the Friday show.
Absolutely.
Rod, I'm still laughing about those moms screaming outside. What kind of weather are they dealing with if they go outside right now to scream?
If you go outside right now, you need that flannel bathrobe because it's cold again. I do want to point out we don't have any fog reports at all, so visibility is good. We have enough east wind still blowing out of the gorge. It is prevented fog formation. It is cold if you're not getting much wind. 24 in Hillsborough, 29 in Beaverton. That's on the west side where those ladies were screaming. 34 is the temperature out in Gresham right now, and it's 28 in Salem. So to the bus stop we go. Same weather pattern we've been seeing. Today will be sunny from start to finish with no fog around. 29 on average out the door, 42 lunchtime recess, and then about 48 degrees when the kids get out of school this afternoon.
All right, Rod, thank you so much. We need to get some breaking news this morning now. Police say a man is dead after a shooting in downtown Portland's Old Town area. Police were called to Northwest 2nd and Cooch a little after 2 a.m. today and found a man injured in the street. He was rushed to the hospital, but we're told he did not survive. We don't know any details about what led up to the shooting or if they have any suspect information, but at this hour, 2nd is closed between Burnside and Davis, and Cooch is closed between 1st and 3rd Streets.
All right, let's get to one of our other top stories this morning. Around 1,200 Portland City workers say they are on strike, or they're going to go on strike. In fact, that could happen as soon as 2 weeks from yesterday. The workers union made the announcement late last night after months of bargaining for a new contract. Devin Haskins joins us live in the KGW newsroom this morning to talk more about the vote to strike. Devin, of course, this is going to have a big impact on the city. Let's talk about just how big of an impact we're seeing here.
Yeah, Drew, a decent sized impact considering the areas of work that these workers cover. Those nearly 1,200 workers include parking enforcement, clerical and tech staff, building and transportation inspectors, and more. The union represents about 16% of the city's workforce. Members of the District Council of Trade Unions, which is made up of 6 different unions, rallied outside Portland City Hall last night. The union says the vote to strike passed with 86% voting in favor. Negotiations with the city have been happening for just over a year after the current contract expired in June of 2020 and then was extended for 6 months during the pandemic. The two came to an impasse in mid-December and submitted their final and best offers. Among the concessions in the city's final offer, employees would get a one-time $1,500 bonus, and those in certain wage brackets would get a 5% cost of living increase. Union argues, though, that 5% raise is not sustainable in Portland's market.
We're seeing over the past couple of years how council listens to the loudest voice in the room. And apparently we've been too patient and too kind, because here we are over a year without a contract and all we're getting is more of the same. So seeing how other folks are moving council and getting their needs met in the city, now we need to know it's time to get rowdy.
So you're probably wondering, why February 10th? Well, state law mandates unions give a 10-day notice to strike. The union says workers will stop working at 9 a.m. on Thursday, February 10th. Brenda?
All right, Devin, thank you for the update. Now to another update. This is on the breaking news that we brought you yesterday here on Sunrise. We know a Clackamas County Sheriff's deputy shot and killed a man after he allegedly tried to carjack multiple people. The shooting happened around 10:30 Wednesday night. Deputies say they tried to get the guy to stop several times, even using spike strips to flatten his rear tire, which ended up coming off as he drove fast on I-205 North. Eventually, the man crashed. Deputies reported he then tried to hold up drivers under the freeway overpass. Here are some clips from the radio communication so you can kind of hear the moments leading up to the shooting. It begins with deputies going north on I-205 and pulling up right alongside the driver, trying to get him to stop.
3-6, he's got a handgun. He pointed it right out the driver's window at me. Just past Powell, still speeds 85. He's running with a handgun in him. Right near too, he's kind of playing Frogger, pointing a gun at someone, about to carjack someone. He's under Market Street trying to carjack people.
Shots fired, he said, not in my car.
183 shots fired.
Deputies still haven't publicly identified the suspect or said why they were chasing him in the first place.
Vancouver police warning about a dangerous new TikTok challenge that dares teens to knock down the doors of total strangers. This is called the Door Kick Challenge. Users record themselves kicking open a door of an unsuspecting homeowner and then running off. And get this, police say it has happened 7 times just yesterday, or Wednesday rather, alone in Vancouver. Here's a map. You see those 2 orange circles. This is where they all happen. It's the Hearthwood area of East Vancouver. Police want people to report the challenge if it happens to you.
COVID hospitalizations in Oregon have been going up this month, but the numbers are still not quite where we saw them back in September. There are now 1,130 people in Oregon hospitals with confirmed cases of COVID. That's about 50 patients shy of the peak that was reached 4 months ago. Southwest Washington is seeing a similar trend of numbers getting close to all-time highs. Right now, just in Clark County, there are 118 people in the hospital with COVID. And COVID response was the big topic yesterday, Brenda, at a Yamhill County Commissioners meeting. So commissioners voted to approve a letter that allows the county's public health department to renew its accreditation.
The vote followed a long discussion about the COVID information on the department's online website. So Commissioner Mary Sterrett threatened to delay approval if changes weren't made to the website. She has a documented history of supporting misinformation about COVID vaccines and treatments. Health Administrator Dr. Lindsay Manfred said updates on the department's website about COVID and in-home care are accurate. She called Sterrett's misinformation a liability to public health.
And I think the other piece is, where do we stop? Who decides what unauthorized or unapproved treatments go on our webpage?
Talking about vaccines definitely generated the most debate, with Sterrett lobbying not to describe the shots as safe and effective on the county's website.
Trailblazer star CJ McCollum fighting back against vaccine misinformation. In a video posted to his Twitter and Instagram, he explained why he got vaccinated and urged others to get information from credible sources and, quote, do the right thing.
I got vaccinated because I felt like it was the right thing to do for myself and my family. You know, for me, the normalcy of being comfortable around my grandmother, you know, being able to be comfortable around my father, my mother, the family gatherings, you know, the Sunday dinners, you know, those are the things that I really miss. You know, COVID isn't going anywhere. You know, you should do your research, you should do those things, but once you have the right information, I think it only makes sense to act on it and do the right thing.
McCollum is also the president of the National Basketball Players Association.
Every time I see that, I laugh. We laughed at it 10 minutes ago. We're laughing again. This is a scene last night. Gabriel Park, Southwest Portland, where several moms joined together for what they called a mom scream. One of the women who organized this mom scream says she saw a similar event in Massachusetts. That was the inspiration. I mean, I guess you could be screaming about anything, but they say the main reason for the screams, pandemic frustration.
There was an overwhelming response and need from the other women in our group that could really use something like this. If you need some kind of release, I think screaming is a great way to do it.
The organizers say they're considering doing this again. Fair warning to the neighbors there. But they haven't made any official plans as to when exactly the next mom scream might be. I'm curious, Rod.
Yes.
Aren't you curious? Like, how long did that last? Is that a 5-minute event?
I don't know.
Is that a 45-minute event?
But I think we've stumbled on to the true difference between man and woman. We've finally done it. That's what women do. Now, a man would simply grab a beer and go out on the back porch. Okay.
I want to be with you, but I'll tell you what, Rod. I'm kind of a screamer.
Are you a screamer?
Yeah, I'm a screamer, Rod.
All right. Okay. 35-mile-per-hour east winds blowing out of the gorge. These winds expected to end up being throughout the day about 5 to 10 miles per hour less than whatever you had at your house yesterday. And again, it's an east wind, so the gradients aren't strong enough for it to disperse everywhere. So if you live in a spot where you typically don't get east winds, you'll have light winds again today. Here are the early morning numbers. Speaking of light winds, 26 Forest Grove, 24 Hillsboro, and again, 35 King City. So for them to be 35, you folks are picking up a little wind. There's Troutdale. We just saw the winds gusting to 35 at 38 degrees right now. And on the big map, Kelso's in the mid-20s. Good morning, Cowlitz County. Astoria is freezing. 10 down in Burns and 9 degrees out in Baker City. It will be a dry day, all areas. And with the exception of cloud cover from Hood River through the Dalles, out to Pendleton and up into the Columbia Basin, everybody gets sunshine today, which is kind of what we've been seeing. There's Futurecast showing that cloudy area that has been in place for a handful of days. This will probably be the last day of just sunny skies at the coast. You folks will be clouding up tomorrow, then we have the rain coming on Sunday. Temperatures kind of where they've been. On average, upper 40s for the valley. Light winds to 10 miles per hour down in the mid-valley. And then we have the gust of 30, 35 or so along the Columbia River. Battleground 48. Longview gets up to around 50 degrees once again. Cold temps again tonight, and then warmer temperatures Sunday morning, because by Sunday morning the clouds will be here and the rain develops. Showers on Monday, shower chance Tuesday, and right now it looks like a little rain Wednesday overnight into Thursday. So today's dry, tomorrow's dry, then we get more typical weather rolling in. Back to you.
All right, thank you, sir. Hey, Rod, you mentioned beer. Well, 2 Oregon craft brewers are doing the unthinkable. They're sharing recipes, and they're kind of putting their own spin on each other's drinks. Coming up this morning at 5:15, meet the brewers who call themselves mad scientists. Plus, the IRS began accepting 2021 tax returns this week. After the break, our Verify team explains why you should consider filing electronically this year.